Hello friends! Before I start this video I just want to say it's really warm in the UK right now, and if I turn into a ridiculously sweaty egg over the course of this video, I'm sorry. I've tried to dress for the weather, but it still might happen. Here is my casualty Q&A. Woo! Before I start I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everybody who watched the episode. Apparently there were 4.43 million people that watched it live. Wow, that's a ridiculous amount of people. I never imagined that there would be that many people watching. There were so many people who actually decided to come to my social media, my Twitter or my Instagram, and say to me, wow, you did a really great job. And that means so much to me. It's been really hard to keep up with my social media because it's been going absolutely crazy over the past few days. I have tried to like and reply to every single comment I've seen or direct message or anything like that. If I miss any, I'm really sorry. Please know that I have read every single one of them and they mean so much to me. It's just very difficult to keep up. I'm trying and I'm very grateful for everything. So let's get into the Q&A. I did get a couple of overlap questions from people, so I'm gonna sort of put them into one and answer. If I get any names wrong or mispronounced, I'm really sorry. I'll try my hardest. At Neil and Marcel, at OMG Digby on Instagram, and at CrystalUFan22 on Twitter said, who did you enjoy most meeting out of the Casualty cast? This is a really hard question. I think it comes down to who I spent the most time with, because then you get closer to them. Enjoyed meeting everyone a lot because everyone was really nice to me. This has nothing to do with dissing other people. This is just the people I spent the most time with, got the most close to and got to know them most, I guess, were Dom, who played my dad, obviously because we spent a lot of time together filming, and Amanda, who plays Connie, because she is my doctor, and we spent pretty much all the time together while I was in the studio. So they were the people that I spent the most time with, which is why I would say they were my favourites, but that's not to say that any other ones weren't nice. At Day of a Flower on Instagram, I really enjoyed your storyline last night. What was your favourite moment while filming, and did you have to pretend to be younger than you really are? Firstly, thank you very much. That is very nice of you to say. I'm very grateful. You're on Instagram, so you might not follow me on Twitter, but I did a thread on Twitter on the 10 days leading up to my episode where I did my favourite memories. There was one thing that I wanted to put in there that I couldn't spoil because it was the day of the episode and I didn't want to spoil it for anyone. So I'm gonna go for the one which I couldn't tell anyone, and it has to be the line, we've got a bunker ready for the apocalypse and you're not invited.
We've got a bunker ready for the apocalypse and you're not invited.
When I first read the script, I was so happy that I got that line. I love lines like that. That honestly made my day. And when we first did the rehearsal, all the crew were in the room and I was just sat there in the bed and I did it really evil. I was like, we've got a bunker ready for the apocalypse and I'm not invited, and everyone was so shook. It was hilarious. Did you have to pretend to be younger than you really are? Yes, I did. I am 15 years old, and when I was filming I was 14 and Chloe is 12. So I had to pretend to be younger, but it wasn't that hard because I'm really small and I look young anyway. At the Trashy Gay one on Instagram, I loved your username. How was it meeting all the actors? Amazing. I was kind of nervous about meeting the regulars because I didn't know how they react to guest people. I know that sounds really weird. You never know how people are gonna gel with people that they don't act with normally. I was kind of nervous about it, but everyone was so nice and welcoming, and I really don't have a bad word to say about anyone. They all made me laugh so much, and I made some great friends. At OMG Digby on Instagram, did you meet George? I guess this is referring to George Rainsford, who plays Ethan. I did meet him, but obviously not in scenes. I just said hi to him at one point because I saw him in his dressing room across the corridor from me. At CasualtyHolby_edits on Instagram, and at AmandaXConnieX on Twitter. Sorry, that's really hard to say. How did you get into acting and how did you get onto Casualty? This is a question I get so often. I am currently 15, as I said earlier. When I was 8 years old, I joined a stage school and they had an agency in the stage school, and I got a few extra parts on some TV shows. And then I decided TV acting was more my thing, so I moved on to another agency which specialises in TV, which is where I am now. I moved there, and then I got a part in Creeped Out last year, which was a CBBC series, and the director of Creeped Out was the director that did my episode of Casualty. So after Creeped Out, he auditioned me in December last year, and I got the part. So that is basically, there you go, that's how I've got into acting and got into Casualty. It's all to do with contacts, really. At Callum Red on Twitter, hi Callum, what do you imagine happened to the Storage family after their trip to A&E? This is a really sad question. I don't know about what actually happened, so I'm just gonna say what I think happened. I think it's really sad that Andy got taken away to the police, because I know that he is a really caring person and just wants to care for his daughter. I don't think it's right for him to have gone to the police. I guess the police would have like checked him over to see, I don't know the official terminology, but they would have checked him over to see if he's like capable of looking after me or something. I would have hoped that even if he can't see me as often as he would have, he would still be able to see Chloe like sometimes, and I get that she'd probably have to live with her mum. I just hope that he would get to see Chloe, because I know he is really, really caring and has a good heart. I hope that he would get some mental help, because he deserves it, he's a babe. Were there any scenes that took ages to film because of laughing during them? Like, there weren't any situations, were there any situations where the scene wasn't in any way funny but you couldn't stop laughing? There was nothing actually funny about this, like you said, but when we were in the car filming, that first scene took about 4 or 5 hours, I think. That was a really, really long scene, and between the takes we were still driving around. We were having a lot of conversations, me and Dom, and there were some instances where we were having funny conversations. We had a walkie-talkie in the car so the sound guys could like radio in to tell us when we were doing a take, and they would just say like, come on, we're doing a take now, and I wouldn't be able to compose myself. That wasn't the reason that the scene took ages to film, it was just a hard scene. But that was definitely really difficult at times, because I had to like quickly compose myself and I just couldn't do it. Most embarrassing moment on set, that's really hard. My favourite embarrassing moment was probably when we were filming the first scene in the studios, so when I first got into A&E, and also the one where I have like the sort of breathing seizure. That's not a thing, breathing seizure. I had to get like felt in a lot of places by the doctors, and it was quite funny and also embarrassing. I mean, I didn't find it too embarrassing, but I assume they did, so that was quite funny. If you don't mind me asking, how much did filming a big show like Casualty impact your mental health, for better or for worse? This is a really good question, and I'm glad someone asked this. I was really worried before going into it, because I thought I don't want to feel the pressure. I had no idea what the experience was going to be like, but I found it really, really made me a lot happier. Firstly, doing something that I love like that for such an extended amount of time was just fantastic anyway. I overcame a lot of fears while I was there. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. There were a lot of things which were really hard for me to do, and I think I was thrown in at the deep end with a lot of things, and I'm glad I was. For instance, when we filmed the stunt, as you can see in my other video that I mentioned, I was on a scaffolding tower, and I was really, really nervous about going up there, but the fact that I was just thrown into it and just had to do it, I think I confronted my fears in quite a good way, which really helped me feel happier and more positive when I came out at the other end of it. And also, I had to make a lot of decisions for myself, which is something that I don't usually do, and I think I just felt a lot more positive than I did going in when I came out of it, and that has continued through my life. At Grace_Beecham_XX on Instagram and at Queen_Norma89 on Twitter, what is Amanda like to work with? I had a lot of people ask me this, not just for the Q&A. Amanda is great. She is so nice, so funny, so welcoming. I couldn't have asked for a better person to work with. She is amazing. I love her so much. At CrystalUFan22 on Twitter, what do your friends at school think about your acting career? That's a really good question. My friends at school are really into it. Like, they really, really support me. They always watch everything I'm in, and I had so many texts from them afterwards, like, oh my god, you're on TV. Honestly, I can ask for better friends. If you weren't an actress, what else would you be? I am really into English and creative writing, and if I wasn't an actress, I think I'd go down that route at some point, which is, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll still do it. I don't know. I'm too young to decide these sorts of things, I think, but that's something that I'm interested in that could potentially tie into drama. At Nowhere Shay on Twitter, where do you want to take your acting career next? Ooh, I think being in Casualty has made me think about how much I would love to be a regular in a TV show rather than just being a guest. Although I do like the idea that it's exciting and you get to move from project to project. I'd love to be a regular in something at some point, but I'd also like to do a film. I'd love to do a film, because then like it's a really long shoot and you can make loads of friends, and I'd really love to do something like that. Do you have to keep doing retakes? Yeah, that happens like a lot of the time. I think a scene takes about 4 hours on average. On that first day, the car scene from like 8 till 2 o'clock, and then we cut off at 5, so we go from 2 to 5. So it was long hours. Like, it is heavy. But yeah, retakes like are a big thing. The worst scene to film in that aspect was probably the one where I got out of the car and saw the caravan for the first time, because that was the longest one I think that we did. There was a lot of complex shots involved being inside the caravan, and there was also the catching the keys thing, which was a continuity nightmare. How do you feel about the actress thing? Traditionally female/feminine actors are now known as actresses, but nowadays a lot of women in TV and theatre prefer the gender neutral term actor because gender isn't really relevant. Very, very interesting question. I personally brand myself as an actor. I don't really mind being called actress, but I prefer being called actor. It's not because I don't identify as a female. I'm fine with being called a female. Like, it's nothing to do with that. I just read something once that really resonated with me, where it said actors can play anyone, actresses can only play women. And that really, really interested me, because I did think about it and I thought I could do any gender, you know what I mean? And I do feel like gender is kind of irrelevant when it comes to acting. I'm not sure, but that's how I personally feel about it. I think it's up to personal preference. I do understand why some people wouldn't like to be associated with the word actress, because I do think it's sort of, I don't want to say it has negative connotations, but I don't like the way that it can sometimes be like used in reference to women. I think actress sounds, this is just my personal thing, I don't think this is like actually true, but I personally think actress sounds less professional than actor. I'm not sure why, but I do, which is why I use the word actor personally. At MSL_Cody on Twitter, what advice would you give to people wanting to act? Get an agent. Get an agent. Get an agent. That is the most important thing. People often ask me, do you have an agent? Is that how you get into acting? You can't really act without an agent. You need to get on Spotlight as well, but you can't go on Spotlight without an agent. You need an agent. That is the most important thing, because your agent will make contacts for you. They will send you to auditions. That is without a doubt the most important thing. Get yourself an agent. At Noah Shea and at MSL_Cody on Twitter, how long does it take to film each scene? I've sort of covered this already. I would say on average 4 hours, give or take, because of the length of the scene. At Casualty Confession on Instagram, what was it like to have all the medical equipment on you? Really, really annoying actually in times. It was fun at the beginning and then it got really irritating. I would like to give a special shout out to those stupid sticky things that they stick here that have wires attached to them. They are so painful. Genuinely, there is no unpainful way to get them off your skin. I couldn't get up out of the bed without props having to like de-rig me from all the medical equipment, because I had like cannulas on my arms, I had these wires, I had a probe. Like, honestly, nightmare. Fun at the beginning, but logistical nightmare, especially for continuity, because if the wires were in a different place, such a nightmare. Which of the cast did you speak to off camera most / who was nicest? Again, it comes down to who I was with the most, which I guess was Dom and Amanda. So off camera it would probably be Dom and then probably Amanda and Jason, because I was with them a lot of the time and I couldn't move from my hospital bed while I was on camera. Who was nicest? Again, all of them. I can't really choose. At rash.masoom on Instagram, did you ever forget your lines? I don't think I did actually, thank God. There were a few instances, especially on the first couple of days, where I was really nervous and I brought like my script sides like into the car with me, because I was so nervous about forgetting my lines. But then I realised as time went on and I met the regulars, this is a secret, but they don't really know their lines either. When I was filming with the paramedics, they were literally just like, Mike and Charlotte just had their script and they were just like learning it as we did the takes pretty much. At the start I was really nervous about forgetting my lines, but then I realised like they're really lenient. They get more stressed when you're on location because you've only got like a certain amount of time to film in, but in the studios it's like, just do it whenever you want. At Leah Ham 7744615 on Twitter, were you nervous filming scenes? I guess it's similar to the last one. Yeah, I was nervous at points. I was more nervous at the beginning, but it got better as I went on because I got to know people more. Who was your idol? That's a really difficult question. I look up to a lot of people. I'm gonna say Greg Austin. He's a really great actor, one of my friends. Amanda Mewling, she's a babe. Samantha Barks is great. Sophie Hopkins. I have a lot of idols. Beauty of the X on Twitter said, have you had any professional training? I have had quite a lot of professional training. I act at YAFTA and they do masterclasses a lot with people like casting directors, which is how I've met people that have given me jobs before. So that's how I got the job in Creep Tower, which led on to Casualty. I've worked with directors of like Emmerdale and stuff, and other actors who are professional. So yeah, I would say so. Last question, Amanda X Connie X on Twitter, do you have a management? Yes, I am represented by YAFTA, and great episode, you played the part so well. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's kind of really long. I wanted to get through all the questions. I'm pretty sure that's all of the ones I got asked. I'm really sorry if this is too long, but I just wanted to answer everyone. Thank you again so much for the support. I will be making a video soon about how casualty impacted my life and what I learned from it, and I hope you enjoy that. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very, 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 very much for watching. All my social media will be linked in the description box below. Bye!